Alan Midget. Take it away, Jasmine.
Basically, they established a deeply personal relationship with me from the first moment they arrived. I opened the door and they said, "We're here to do your windows." "I'm Michael. This is George. What's your name?" And I do feel that when someone does take the time to ask me my name, this does indicate that they are interested in knowing who I am. So I tell them, my name is Jasmine. I did feel that they were coming from a very sincere place. After all, here we all were in my own home, and I'm sure they did want me to feel relaxed. That was just a little excerpt from my book, Get Out of My House and Take Your Empties With You. It's a deeply poignant story about myself and the window dressers who did come. And as I'm sure you can imagine, when a man and a woman find themselves alone together in a room, it is only natural that they should get to know each other and begin dating. So you can pick that up. So, just before you got here, oh wait, this is the beginning of the television show, so let's open up the show. Hey, you crazy television viewers viewing on your table in Manhattan, yes, Jazz Mango. I'm coming out with my own line of perfume soon, Daffodildo. When you want not the scent of a woman, but the stench of a man. When you want the sex on the opposite side of the Whoa, that's quite a change through the miracle of modern television. So I just had an existential dilemma, like the third one of the day. Couldn't take nothing for it. My roommate used up all those pills on menstrual bloat. But I did forget to mention a couple of things. One is that, you know, I am a chanteuse artiste. My name is Jasmine. I'm your hyperbolic ethno-white. That's right. I have a mustache, but I bleach it. But I forgot to mention, I noticed that I'm in need of a bleach job.
No, you don't. Don't do it.
Although I know some men find that sexy. Oh,
I do, yeah.
Some women find that sexy. But the other thing I forgot to mention was that I do have a highly trained operatic contralto soprano. And I use that every Tuesday night at 11 at Max Fisher's, the bar of the moment, quoting from the New York Times. At 11 p.m. sharp at 178 Ludlow, myself. The reason I mention that perfect sopranic contralto is because doing television, why am I here? Am I selling something? Certainly not myself. And yet, and this is a message for Bob De Niro, can we close it on that? As you noticed, I do have a very lovely upper register. And I watched Tribeca last night. What a piece of shit. Okay? May I say it again? You know, I don't know if you've caught any of it, but last night's episode was these kids from New Jersey. They move into the city. See, it's aimed at the young, I figured out, because Fox 5 is, you know, pretty much aimed at the youth. And of course, it's outside of, you know, we're so self-centered here, you and I, in Manhattan and New York, but there's the greater American metropolis out there. And so these kids from New Jersey, they move into the city, and everything that is portrayed in Tribeca is this hard-edged look at the city. And the part that killed me was this part where they go into this bar, and there's a performance artist, and she's spilling, like, she's wearing a cutaway bra, and she's spilling all this shit all over herself. She's going, woo! So Bob De Niro is, and they carry her away on a stretcher with the white men, the psycho police. And I'm telling you, Bob De Niro is trying to say, performance artists are crazy!
Except him, he's rich.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, we don't go out to Queens. I heard you, Frankie, over on 17th Street complaining about the audio. Oh, the years I've wasted on the Lower East Side. Where else would you have wanted to waste them, dear? That's the old Fuxxon home. That's Tuli Cooperberg. T-shirt, by the way. I just remembered what I can give you. Nothing else. I can give you nudity. This is my audition for Bob. Because I decided I want to take my bra off at this time. And so, there it is. My nude back.
Backle nudity.
Backle nudity. Now, as I mentioned, oh, wait. By the way, we have some exciting guests coming up very shortly in the program. We have Alan Midget. He came down here to join us from Woodstock, New York, ladies. Can we have a big round of applause? Thank you. Oh, 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 whoa, whoa!
No.
I would like to read to you for a moment from the master. Federico Fellini. I am quoting from Federico Fellini here. The world abounds with superfluity. Why add disorder to disorder? Our function is to decide whether to create or not. It's always better to destroy than to create what is unessential. Besides, how many things are really important enough to survive? We'll go on with that later. Right now, I have a message to bring you about cigarette smoking. And I've been perusing this catalog for weeks.
Yeah.
Basically, you know the story. You have to submit 20,000 labels to get your gear. The cancer comes free of charge, along with the products. Let's see, and this is so that you can go whitewater rafting while smoking cigarettes at the same time. The cancer is free of charge, along with churches. Oops. So, slimy and silky smooth are you, flaccid and flimsy flesh are you, spiny and spindled, my love never dwindled for you. You're on the attack. I'm slithering on my back over you. Thank you. Why, I think it's time to bring up our first guest, Mrs. Majun. Mrs. Majun, the television people are here. Mrs. Majun, oh, while we're waiting for Mrs. Majun, focus in on that lovely piece of subaquateneous oceanic flora. Bill? Hello. I'm here to bring in for you that both can swing. If he don't like cabbage rind, he don't like cabbage rind. If he don't like cabbage rind, he ain't the marrying kind. Ladies, 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 I got what they want. Vyunga, vyunga, vyunga. Potato delight. Food processor make meal. Tupperware. Keep it tight, baby. You see, I'm telling, like my mother always said, at China, something hid it out of me. Hunger like a single horse, so hunger like a cow. Bangers on slow, his mother. He'll make you his wife. You'll be happy as a cookie the rest of your life. And girls, you wait till wedding night. Oh, yes, you wait till wedding night. Girls, you wait till wedding night, or else you can't be bride and bride. You can't! You can't! You can't be bride and bride! You see, I'm telling, like your mother always said. I'm China, but the gate army. Whom you like a triggerers, whom you like a cow. Bang you like a schlangenwanger, bang, she go wow. Whom you like a triggerers, whom you like a cow. Bang along a schlangenwanger, bang, she go wow. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Stop that sweet tooth eating style. You want your hip shimmy shake when you're walking down aisle? Take a break from the cake. First get your finger in that ring. When he's stuck with you for your life, you can eat everything. You see? I'm telling, like my mother always said, a China, but we can hate the hold me like a trigger horse, hold me like a cow. Bang along the schlangenwanger, bang she go wow. Hold me like a trigger horse, hold me like a cow. Bang along the schlangenwanger, bang she go wow. She go wow, she go wow. Thank you. And always remembering, one brick fall from building, bad luck. Two brick fall from building, no kashavarnishkas this year. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Why, thank you, Mrs. Majun. How delightful of you. Oh, now I feel like the Wizard of Oz. They all know it's really me. So, getting back to what I was saying, what was I saying exactly? That is a good question. This is about the Gay Rights March back a couple of weeks ago, whenever that was, and the Times has an article about, you know how they always underestimate the size of these things. And the Times has an article quoting from the Reverend Lou Shell, the chairman of the Traditional Values Coalition, who indicated, he said that the United States Park Service estimated 300,000 people at that march. The chairman of the Traditional Values Coalition, and that's the only figure they give in the entire article about how many people were at the march. That would be like the Times quoting a Nazi on anything having to do with Jews and establishing that as the authority for the factual information in the article. And that's why we read the New York Times. I mean, give me a break.
The police estimated the crowd at 1 million.
Exactly, and the police themselves, well, yeah, the city of Washington.
And you know how liberal they are.
Exactly. You heard that, right? The police themselves estimated the crowd at 1 million, and you know how liberal they are. Well, it just goes to show you that, what was it trying to establish there? I don't know, rich white people, something like that. Okay, there, I said it. Turgid leftist dogma, call it what you will. And then this is from the Omni. Sex and violence among the primates. This is totally unplanned. Focus in on that, would you? Look at that, Omni, the science magazine. Sex and violence among the primates. Woo! 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 Okay, but that's not what I was actually going to point out to you. Don't flip that dial. Don't go anywhere. Pat, I'm talking to you. That's my television friend. I know he flips through every time he sees me on. It's so funny. I run into him like weeks later, and he'll go, "Oh yeah, I saw you on TV." And I go, "Oh, did you like that segment I did about what you know, so and such and such?" And he says, "I don't know. I was flipping, you know." It's like, "Oh, I'm so fascinating. You don't go anywhere, Mike. I see you there on 23rd Street, sitting on your couch. Why don't you clean that room every once in a while?" Stop picking your crotch when I'm talking to you. Here's the thing I wanted to point out on me at the top here, the top headline. In the future, geoengineers tinkering with the sky. Don't you love the concept of geoengineers tinkering with your sky? They may patch up the ozone hole. Then again, maybe their tinkering will result in yet further deleterious results. Stem global warming and reverse the ravages of pollution. By the way, when I see that word stem, could you focus it on my crotch? My hand goes right to my crotch. Oh, let's focus on that a moment. Yes, television audience! Now, of course, these magazines always come with these subscription plans, and I have heard that unethical people actually fill these out with a phony name and their actual address and receive the subscription for a few months at a time and don't pay the bill, and then they just, go on and subscribe to something else just to keep an eye on the propaganda that's out there. That's what they do, they tell me.
Tisk.
Yes, television viewing audience, bringing you some more Fellini. Is that akin to fellatio? In these times, we need desperately to clean, to disinfect. We are being suffocated by words, by images, by sounds that have no reason to exist at all, that emerge from the void, only return to return to hear the voice. We'll come back to more of that later. Thank you, Mr. Fellini. And as I mentioned earlier...
Is he going to stop making films? Is that what he's telling you? Or has he stopped?
No, of course he's still making films. So we will have Alan Midget, who's just come in from Woodstock, with us a little later on. How about a song? I think you'd like that very much. As you know, I do play accordion and sing. People seem to like music. It's taken me a long time to accept that. But it seems to have some kind of calming effect on people, or it connects with them on some kind of deep emotional level. That's what they tell me. Love is can't live without you. Love is you all the time. Love is never leave me, just leave me alone. Love is your heart in an acid bath. Love is a clenched fist. Love is getting fucked. Love is fucking somebody. Damn love. Damn that love. Love is rude, walks and takes over like it owns the place. So that was a bit of pathos for you. Those of you who connect to pathos. I'd like to bring up our next guest this time. As I mentioned earlier, Alan Midget just flew in from Woodstock. Let's have a big hand, a big round of applause for Alan Midget right now.
Hi, Jazz.
Let me just remove my things, hon.
Okay, darling.
Get my things out of your way. Hi, hon.
Hello.
Say hello to our television viewing audience.
Hello, everyone.
Let me mic you up. So, Alan, I understand you've been in Woodstock.
That's right. 2 years.
2 years, and I understand that you had a early career with Berticelli.
Oh, that was Bertolucci.
Valerie Bertolucci.
Right.
Now, you have something to read.
Well, you asked me to read this. This is a book I found in the Goodwill, actually.
It's true because we had lunch.
Right.
Yesterday, Alan and I were
We
having
did lunch at Life Cafe.
At Life Cafe, because we're very bohemian. I tried to solicit a free lunch, but that wasn't possible. But and you read to me from Shambhala, and I wanted you to come today and read from that.
Okay, I don't think it'll get as many laughs as your songs, but okay. The dawn of the great eastern sun is based on actual experience. It's not a concept. You realize that you can uplift yourself, that you can appreciate your existence as a human being. Whether you're a gas station attendant or the president of the country doesn't really matter. When you experience the goodness of being alive, you can respect who and what you are. You need not be intimidated by a lot of bills to pay, diapers to change, food to cook, or papers to be filed. Well, fundamentally, in spite of all those responsibilities, you begin to feel that it's a worthwhile situation to be a human being, to be alive, not afraid of death.
Oh, yeah.
Well, death comes, obviously. You can never avoid death. Whatever you do, death occurs. But if you have lived with a sense of reality and with a gratitude towards life, then you leave the dignity of your life behind you so that your relatives, your friends, your children can appreciate who you were. The vision of the Great Eastern Sun is based on celebrating life. It is contrasted to the setting sun, the sun that is going down and dissolving into darkness. The setting sun vision is based on trying to ward off the concept of death, trying to save ourselves from dying. The setting sun point of view is based on fear. We are constantly afraid of ourselves. We feel that we can't actually hold ourselves upright. We are so ashamed of ourselves, who we are, what we are. We are ashamed of our jobs, our finances, our parental upbringing, our education, and our psychological shortcomings. Great Eastern Sun vision is, on the other hand, is based on appreciating ourselves and appreciating our world. So it's a very general approach. Because we appreciate the world, we don't make a mess in it. We take care of our bodies, we take care of our minds, and we take care of our world. The world around us is regarded as very sacred, so we have to constantly serve our world and clean it up. The setting sun vision is that washing things and cleaning up should be the domain of hired help. Or if you can't afford a housekeeper, you clean up yourself, but you regard it as dirty work. Having a nice meal is fine, but who's going to wash the dishes? Well, we prefer to leave that to someone else. Thousands of tons of leftovers are discarded every year when people go to restaurants. Often they are served giant platefuls of food, more than they can eat, to satisfy the giant desire of their minds. Their minds are stuffed just by the visual appearance of their giant steaks, their full plates. Then the leftovers are thrown into the garbage. All the food is wasted, absolutely wasted. That is indeed a setting sun approach. You have a giant vision which you can't consume, and you end up throwing most of it away. There's not even a program to recycle the leftovers. Everything goes to the dump. It is no wonder we have such a big problem disposing of our garbage. Some people have even thought of sending our garbage into outer space. We can let the rest of the universe take care of our leftovers. Instead of cleaning up our Earth, the setting sun approach is to shield ourselves from dirt as much as we can so that we don't have to look at it. We just get rid of anything unpleasant. As long as we have a pleasurable situation, we forget about the leftovers or the greasy spoons and plates. We leave the job of cleaning up to somebody else.
I get the picture. So this is what you've been working on. Darling.
Yeah.
No, but there was some good stuff in there about how we're ashamed of ourselves. You know, and this is what all the magazines, what television, you know, everything is making you be ashamed of, like, not being blonde and voluminous and bulbous in all the right places. By the way, I am.
Really? Well, how are my buns looking, by the way?
I am having a nip and a tuck done myself, by the way. I'm going to have that nasty crap removed from my cleavage.
I'm going to have my intellect removed.
But it's true. And the other thing about death, you know, because I was reading this book about death, about how in past centuries, it was like this natural process. Death was like, and the whole family would surround the dying person. It would be in the home, and now it's like been removed to the hospital.
Yeah.
In our times, you know, and it's like nobody's even supposed to talk about it, and you're supposed to suppress your sadness. Like, you know, even when my grandmother died, and my sister and my mother were there, and my mother came back, she was telling me, and your sister was really sobbing and sobbing, and we just thought, like, really, can you control yourself? You know, and it's this, like, unwillingness to, like, embrace the total life experience, which includes, of course, death. I feel that we're much like the fungi, flora, and fauna existing on Earth. But I wanted to know about that part where you read about the hired help. Who is going to wash the dishes?
President Bush.
Oh, by the way, I started to say earlier that I wanted to, yes, we're about to leave you now. Oh, television viewing audience, and I never even had a chance to completely put my lipstick on, but when I wanted you to see me. Let me do that right now. Oh my God, lipstick broke off. Here we go. But, you know, I'm going to Nancy Reagan. You remember her book, My Turn? And I have a fabulous book idea. I'm going to dish on all the people I knew in the 80s. Don't you think that's a great idea for a book? So, Alan, it's been fabulous, darling. Having you on. And television viewing audience, you can catch Alan and I at the Live Cafe.
Almost any day.
And we'd love to see you. And now, let's practice